Welcome back, everybody. This is UFP Media Presents the Unfunniest Podcast. We are at episode 30. Mike and Jimmy, we are all three of us back. The three musketeers, the three best friends, whatever you want to call us. We're all back together.
Welcome back, Jim.
Thank you, guys. It's good to be back. A little,
Awesome.
little absentee there.
Well, yeah, we
Bright
won't hold it
and
against
vibrant.
you.
Yes.
HR is going to talk to you about that one. No, it was a no call, no show. So
That's perfect.
We'll talk to you about that later.
Yeah, that's fine.
Famous number 30, since we're on number 30. I'm going to go with Bernard King of the Washington Bullets, Terrell Davis of the Denver Broncos. You got Steph Curry. He's a nobody. And, Chris Osgood. Yeah, I guess maybe he was okay in this town.
Jimmy's going with Ozzy.
Ozzy. That was, oh, man, you stole my thunder.
Absolutely. So I was looking, I'm like, I thought there had to be more famous number 30s than there really were. And there weren't as many as I thought.
Let me think. Was Thane Gash, former Cleveland Brown? I believe he was number 30.
Gash.
Thane Gash, free safety for the Browns back in the late 80s. Thane
30.
Gash.
Yeah,
30.
that's definitely a football name.
What
Thane
was
Gash. 31.
30.
No. Hasek was, wow.
Jeez.
He wasn't.
All right.
Boy, the silence is deafening. I'm going to leave that up to you guys for your.
39.
Oh, that's what
Okay.
it was.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah,
turning
39.
30?
30.
We're still in our early age. We're not quite middle age yet. We're still in our young 30s. So veteran
Really
young
looks
guy,
like
as Doug
Count
Carson would say.
Dracula on TV right now, by the way.
Count Dracula.
Yeah, he's got a leather vest on with then a double-breasted, almost looks like a wool coat that has a very large collar that almost appears that it has a hoodie in it with his gloves on. He looks like Count Dracula.
Who is this?
Brady. Tom Brady.
Of course he is. He's got a blood boy and everything else, I'm sure. He's not going to age anymore in the rest of his life.
He's got too much collagen in his face.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's recap a little bit of our own stuff here. Mike and myself ventured out yesterday. Both of us found it had nothing to do on a Saturday, so we went over to Oakland University to see some actually pretty good basketball action.
Yeah, I believe I actually said that to you. I'm like, this is the first Saturday, and I can't even tell you how long. Probably years. No, I'm kidding, but years. But where I didn't have something going on, so I'm like, let's go to the. Well, you had mentioned it on whatever day that was, Friday, right?
Friday, yeah.
Yeah. So I said, heck yeah, let's go. So doubleheader at Oakland U. At the Golden Grizzlies, women at noon versus Cleveland State. And then the men played at 3 p.m. versus the University of Toledo Rockets.
Yeah.
Aunt Terry, alma mater. Of course, I used to go to Rockets games when I was little, literally in the stands cheering like a maniac because my aunts both, of course, like I said, went there. And I vividly remember going to those games back then it was called Centennial Hall. So if you've ever seen Toledo's sports arena for UT, it's pretty cool. It's kind of got like a promenade over to the one side, and then it climbs pretty quick. Again, everything's relative to your own age, but if you look at, let me see if I can find.
How
it
old
really
were you
quick.
then?
Now it's called,
How old were you?
6, 7, 8.
All right, so I wasn't non-existent.
No, you were not thought of yet.
Yeah.
John F. Savage Hall. Yes, once again, we're going off on a tangent.
I've been to
Savage
that.
Hall.
I've been there a couple of times to Savage Hall with Western, and it's cool. It's a nice arena. I can't stand anything about Toledo when it comes to sports, so I'm not the best person to talk
Listen.
about this. The Glass Bowl, everything else.
What would
but
you
whatever.
say you do here?
I run this. I edit. I'm not the star. That's obviously Jimmy. So
Exactly. The arena opened in 1976, originally seated 9,000 for basketball, up to 10,000 for concerts. As part of a $30 million renovation addition to the arena completed in 2008, the seating capacity was reduced to 7,300 for basketball, up to 8,300 for concerts. Yeah, so let me see if I can find a quick picture and share it. Again, this is pointless information, but for my own self-interest and my own memories of the wonderful Savage Hall. I'll see, it looks completely different than it used to look because of the renovations that they made to it, but it's pretty neat. Hold on, I'll share my screen here.
Downtown Toledo's grown pretty well, too.
Downtown Toledo has grown significantly to the point of this past week we had our trade show there, and people made comments like, wow, this is completely and totally different than it used to be. I didn't expect downtown Toledo to be even remotely close to this.
I think
Here we
that the
go.
biggest
Here is
quote by
Savage
far
Hall.
was from a Jay Ward saying, "How come you can't throw any stools on the on Fifth Third Field anymore?" From Flickers. So I think that's the biggest problem.
Yeah. So here's Savage Hall. Can you guys see it?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
It's got
pretty neat.
Taller ceilings than Oakland.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You know-
yeah. The arena. I love the arena. I think they did.
Well,
a fabulous job with it.
I sent you guys that text, obviously, with the sound system, the JBL. Obviously, I had to look it up, but they purposely.
Oh, there. Listen. Okay, can you guys see that original picture over there?
Yeah.
On the right hand side. See how far up it goes. Look at the scoreboard, and then behind it.
Mhm.
That's how far the stands used to go up.
Yeah.
So they kind of retrofitted it. But anyways, this is again.
But yeah,
I
the
guess this
arena,
is
they
going back to-
purposely made the ceiling low for sound, is
Well,
at least what I read.
they designed it for a Division II program, I really think, as opposed to or Division, as opposed to a
Originally?
Division I program.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to really have that. What it can only seat like 3,000-4,000, if that. I
It's
think.
4,000.
And yeah, 4,000. You really, to me, you should have. I'm going to speak blasphemy about Mike and I's 19th employer, but I really think that they really probably. I don't like that dark court.
I was
It
just going to ask,
shows everything.
what are your thoughts on the court?
It's too dark. The arena is too dark.
It is too dark.
I like-
agree. They call it the blacktop. I don't like it.
The term, I get it. It's, it's like going to the park playing in basketball, but I don't
I'm a
like it.
traditionalist. I enjoy wood courts
Oh, absolutely.
with colored key.
Well, that's what they're
and
doing now with the
logo.
NBA. It's getting outrageous, if you ask me.
Hold on.
But they only do that for the in-season tournament games.
The what?
The in-season tournament games. That's the only time they do those crazy courts.
All right, Jim.
Yes.
Let's bring this up real quick. I'm going to, once again, for the second time already, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to bring up, Miller and I were talking about this
You're
yesterday.
getting good at the screen sharing.
Well, listen, I mean, at the end of the day. Okay, so can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, we can.
so these two big, large speakers are on whatever end of the arena that is. So off here to the left is
Call
score
that
is
a column
press row.
array system.
column array. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so when I am there at press row or Miller or whoever, and you're staring out at the court, you can only hear essentially sound coming from your left side. When Miller and I were sitting back behind this basket yesterday.
Yeah.
When we're sitting back here, you can definitely tell that those speakers are facing the other way. There is not another set of speakers on the opposite end of the arena.
Oh, man, dude.
So I don't understand.
No,
It,
Damn
that
that.
upsets me.
But-
I need to
but-
get my ASS there.
but I saw Mike, there were like sets of I think
there
9
were a
different
ton.
sets of 3. But yeah, you're right. They're not all powered on, and when it comes to that, and by the way, where you're showing there, for anyone that's looking at it, that is the student section, if I'm not mistaken, Mike, that we're staring at right there. That's the opposite.
No. I got up with 2 minutes left because I wanted to get out of there as soon as the game was out. So we are staring at where you and I were sitting. So
Right,
that's
that's the student section, isn't it?
No, the student section is from my vantage
Oh.
point, and that picture right there, I'm standing
Okay, but the
just
band.
behind the student section.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And the band's off to the right.
So, yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine. So, going back to my grade school real quick, St. Lawrence, they installed speakers the same way, and they installed them for the stage.
yeah.
And
Well, okay.
but it's
so
like you use the basketball court 75% more than the stage for Christmas programs or whatever.
Yeah. So this entire general seating area back here, if you guys can see me do that drawing with my cursor.
Yeah.
You are at a disadvantage in turn. I know we're geeking out on audio because Jim is back.
Yes.
And then we're
Oh,
focusing
In fact,
on
and you
audio
know it.
file
I'm
for
kicking
3.
a
testing 1, 2
grocery
sibilance.
cart right now.
Sibilance. So we're going to have to talk with our friends at Oakland University to find out why it is a phenomenal sound system. And when I took this picture and I was on that end of the arena, there was a distinct, significant advantage of sound system audio that was coming at me. It sounded spectacularly better than sitting in the corner over there.
Mike,
up in bleachers.
I'm impressed with your picture taking. You
like
circled
this?
it.
Now, look
Yeah.
at the circles. I mean, you want to talk about professionally picture drawn circles of said speaker system.
I love it.
This was, I'm going to stop sharing my screen again. I'll go back.
No,
to
you're
it.
good.
So yeah, Miller and I had a really good time. Charlotte was there with her two little friends. I think they certainly seemed like they had a great time. The photographers and the on-screen, in-game folks were focusing on the girls, which I think they thought obviously was very cool for them.
By the
But
way, they think their dad and Uncle Mike are like the two coolest people in the world because we know people. Like that's the funny thing.
You guys
How
are a
long
big
can we
deal.
continue this
come
ruse
on.
up?
Yeah. Listen, I was very impressed. I am very impressed with the entire team, the production team at Oakland, and how they put everything together. Game day, especially from audio to public address announcing to graphics to the on-screen display. Mark, you made a good point. The large screen that was essentially behind us, and how high def that was. Jim, they turned down the lights. They get the music going.
Yes.
They have the video board with the introductions of each player. You know how they come up and they go, all that stuff that they do. I'm not doing it justice, clearly.
No,
but
there's a lot of work into that. There really is.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was very impressed with the entire production yesterday, both the men's and the women's games, and how they did everything. It is a cool setting. It is a great atmosphere. I thoroughly enjoyed. I mean, I sat there and watched, 4 hours of basketball essentially, and enjoyed every minute of it. I loved it. It was great. It was great to be in that setting, see the excitement. Listen, I will say this. Mark, are you raising your hand?
I was just adjusting my camera so you guys
I
could
was gonna
see
say,
my.
put your arm down. You know where you
Yeah,
are.
let me
go ahead,
hit the
Mark.
light better. So is the light better on
Do
me?
you have a question? No, clearly not.
All right.
So I was going to say this really quick, and this is the same thing that we talk about at the high schools too, and we're trying to generate. And I think there's some success stories with women's versus men's. There does seem to be. Mark, you made a comment that you were impressed by the crowd that showed up for the women's game.
Yeah.
Versus even the volleyball. Clearly, the men outdraw the women. I'm not saying it in any terms of, preparation, whatever. But I was impressed by the turnout for the girls, and then I was really impressed by the turnout for the guys' game at 3:00 versus Toledo. So yeah, the whole day was just really cool. It was great to be there, just to be part of that atmosphere. And that game went down to the wire. That place got loud, which I love. People were on their feet. Oakland, I believe, got a runner in the lane with about 10 seconds left. Toledo came down, did not call a timeout. I was kind of surprised by that. Toledo coach did not call a timeout. Took a three, missed it, got a long rebound, tried to take another short jumper just outside the key, and that was partially blocked. And at the buzzer, did you like that impersonation? Wasn't that great? So yeah, great day.
And to what she said about the women's team, this is Coach Newell's Coach Keisha Newell's first year with the Oakland women's team and with
Very
the Lady
impressed by
Grizzlies.
her.
And yeah, I mean they got a great team there. The girls, just the heart that they played with, they really were playing with some great heart. Really made a couple good runs. It's going to be another year or two, I think, for them. And I think they're putting the thing that Oakland has put into their basketball program that most Division I schools don't is they have a separate practice facility. And if people were saying, "Oh, that's stupid," it's just a little gym. It's not just a little gym. It's not having to share any gym time with the volleyball teams, with concerts, with anything else, or with any other programs that are going on inside of the arena. This is their time that they can have just strictly for them, and it's a huge recruiting piece that they can show to any potential recruits that this is what we're showing and this is what we think of our basketball programs.
Yeah, and I'll tell you the other thing that I was really impressed with too is you can tell when kids are playing, kids, these are 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old
They're
kids,
still kids,
young adults,
yeah,
playing for a coach. And at no point in that game yesterday versus Cleveland State did you see them quit. There was a couple times they got down by 14, 15 points. They got that thing down to, I believe, 3 or 4 in late third quarter. So to her credit, she had them playing. She had them playing with a lot of energy. I mean, they were banging in the paint, throwing some, not haymakers per se, but
some
you
nice
could just
elbows.
tell they were competing. And they were competing hard. So the future certainly seems very bright for the Golden Grizzlies women. The other thing I was really impressed by, so when a substitute comes out or a substitute goes in and who they're going in for comes out. It is, and I'm assuming this is a Greg Campy thing because the men did the same thing. But they come down the line and the girl that's coming out of the game gives high fives to every single coach and player on the bench, including the trainer at the end of the bench, which I think is really cool. And then goes back to the spot that they are going to sit at. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
This is what is cool about team sports, right? You're building camaraderie. You're building friendships. You're building lifelong friendships. It's just one of those things. You could just kind of tell. And you can see other teams. I mean, there's definitely other college teams you watch, and you're like, okay, then nobody's playing for anybody. They're playing for themselves. They certainly don't like the coach. And that was just not the case at Oakland yesterday. I'm not just saying this. I was very impressed by the entire day and both teams and how they played. And then the men, as usual, Greg Campy had that team ready to play versus a MAC division opponent. Mark, what's Oakland in? They're
in the
Horizon League. Yes, thank you. So I guess you would say that they're playing up to the MAC and the UT, but they came away with the 1-point victory, and it was cool to watch. It was awesome. It was just so cool to be there. So we're going back.
All right.
Absolutely. Jimmy, I got a question to ask you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you think there's ever been any technology in any sports that either Mike or I didn't have a clue what it was?
Well, I'll admit
I'm going to show a picture here.
Okay.
Do you think there would ever be something where Mike and I would have no clue what a technology was in the sport? Mind you, technology's been around for 20 years.
JMO's mask on Thursday?
No, that's new. That's still new.
What do you got?
Touchdown Bears.
I'm going to show a picture here, Jimmy.
I was always a fan of the...
You'll see here.
Center court. You tack your shoes.
So, do you see this?
I do.
That's on a referee's belt.
What is it?
It's called the
clock technology.
Precision Time PTS, Precision Time System.
Okay.
And it's been around since almost the 90s. So, whatever on-ball official puts the ball into play, they go reach around on their back, and as soon as the ball is touched, they push a button and the clock starts in the arena. And then whenever they blow a whistle, whenever a whistle is heard, the clock stops automatically.
Okay. That's cool. You know what that reminds me of?
I had no clue.
Was it last week or 2 weeks ago when Josh Allen was doing an arrow with his pointer behind his back, telling the running back where to go? Yeah, he was.
Well, yeah.
Oh, like a volleyball thing? Yeah.
So
I was.
Yeah, this was something
sitting there.
Sitting
there watching, and I looked at Mark and I go, what's the battery pack? I figured Mark would know.
Pacemaker.
People. Yeah, pacemaker. No, and I looked and I'm thinking, the heck is that? I've never seen that before. And then I watched the one referee, the on-ball referee, click it as the ball was being inbounded and touched by the player. So Mark, in usual fashion, went, hold on, let's find out. Got onto his AI. And
your guys' attention to detail. It's funny.
No,
it's awesome.
It's never like Mike and I never argue about something whether we're right or not. I mean, for crying out loud, it's been 35 years, 36 years.
All right. While we're on that topic, I got something else I got to bring up, but real quick.
Please do.
Yes.
Okay.
So last week,
we got to let him talk.
I was watching. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. By the way, letting me talk, the amount of absent time I've had, the minutes that I've accrued for airtime and talking time, I could literally
3 episodes.
I could literally let you guys not talk again. We might even have to skip the rant of the week, but we're not going to do. We're not going to.
Fine.
We're not going to do that. But anyway,
nobody wants to listen to me complain.
No. So what I was getting at with that was the Michigan-Ohio State game and at Shane's pole barn, and
we brought it up.
Yeah, and Miller brought it up. He's like, if you ever watch a game with Mike and I, you think we'd hate each other, but it's like a love-hate relationship. And it was funny. And then, Mike, you brought it up. You're like, Jimmy turned around and told us shut the hell up. And you were kind because I didn't use the word hell.
No. We try to be a PG podcast here.
So anyways, long story short, I wasn't in the greatest mood that day. So my apologies.
It was pretty funny.
98% of the time I can handle you guys. I think Bobby.
That was the 2%.
My nephew Bobby, Mike's son, he looked at me and he's like, yeah, man, they got to shut up.
It's no sooner did you say that.
My apologies.
No, there's no reason to
You don't have to
apologize.
apologize.
So as soon as you said that, I started thinking to myself, I'm like, I haven't shut the hell up in the last 5 minutes about whatever play it was. Oh, it was the play when Smith was going
into the end zone.
Going into the end zone.
Yeah, we were only like 5-6 minutes into the game. And I'm like, we got like 2.5 hours to go.
You guys need to shut the hell up.
Well,
And all I do is egg Mike on.
well, the funny thing is, Miller, when the game was over, you stuck around for a little bit and then you left. I left shortly after you, but I saw you and Mike and you guys gave each other a hug. And I'm like, yep, there it is.
we don't, it's never, Mike knows it too. I just sit there and he'll do it to me. We needle each other. We just
You are a worthless piece of crap, Miller.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree. I mean, what's the slogan for Unfunniest Podcast? Two
idiots.
Yeah. I mean, it's
we have an unhealthy competitive streak.
it's spot on. It really is. I will tell you this for our followers and listeners. If you've never experienced watching any type of sporting event with Mike and Mark, it's a once in a lifetime experience. Experience.
It's amazing.
You have to do it at least once.
Too. We both of us know everything.
Yeah.
There's nobody else knows more.
Yeah.
You'll get a good night's sleep,
by the way.
What's that?
Let's
Bears and Pack are tied at 21.
Yeah, I said that.
Pack is driving. 8 minutes left. 7.
There was important football news today in college football, and it's not about that stupid CFP. I'm going to show you something here. I think we need to make a road trip on the 19th
of December.
It's a Friday because the Western Michigan Broncos will be facing the Kennesaw State Owls. I don't even know what state they're in.
Could you
the
repeat
Kennesaw
who
State Owls on Friday, December 19th in the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Oh my.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I think they need to send us there as to represent the bowl, and I think that's going to be our bowl.
That's Friday, December 19th?
Friday, December 19th and get this, Mike, 11 a.m. kickoff. Why?
What?
That's
why?
unnecessary.
11 a.m.
Come on.
Yeah.
Don't even. Here we go. Don't get me started on college football and the joke
Once
that
again,
it is now.
we'll talk about that in a little bit. But first off, I didn't even know Kennesaw State was actually a Division I program, but apparently they are. And I apologize. Kennesaw, Kennessaw.
Can we call that Uncle Ken Weisenberger Saw State?
The Uncle Ken Weisenberger State Owls. He's a wise owl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going to be in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. I was hoping they were going to play in the Game Spot or Game On or Game Stop, whatever bowl here in Detroit.
Yeah.
Whatever the one was the Quick Lane Bowl, which, by the way, I did not realize Quick Lane is out of business, I think. So, go figure.
So
I didn't even know that. The Game On Bowl, it's some sports marketing firm. So, all right. So now we've wasted 25 minutes. We haven't even once talked about the important news of the week.
That's my fault.
No, I think it was all of our faults. Jimmy, you're back, so we just wasted an extra 5-10 minutes, but that's okay. Lions' big victory over the Cowboys on this past Thursday night.
Yes.
I know we've got some thoughts on this. I'm going to go over a couple things real quick here. Lions, I think, played better than they had in a long time, and I think that the Cowboys have been always overrated this season. I don't think there's ever been a year in my almost 51 years on Earth that the Cowboys have ever been. They're overrated every year. It's because they are quote-unquote America's team. But, Mike, talk about a few things you saw. We'll talk about a few things. I'm just going to also say that number two things, the offensive line play was incredible for the Lions, the way they switched up their guards. And I think that, once again, Gibbs is the closest thing I've seen to Barry Sanders since Barry Sanders played.
Yeah, I would 100% agree with it. Look at this. Look at an Amazon truck at 7:05 on a Sunday night delivering packages. What are we doing?
Dude.
You don't need to deliver packages at 7 o'clock at night for crying out loud.
I need my Sharpies.
That wasn't even my ramp, but I might turn it into my ramp. I'm looking outside and I see a stupid Amazon
You ever
truck
see the Sebastian skit? His new one. And Sebastian
Maniscalco?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, you get an Amazon truck that rolls up and, driver gets out and he's in Amazon paraphernalia. And then next thing you know, it's midnight and a white rape van shows up. And the guy comes out and he's like, how do you know where I live? It was, oh my God.
We need to be back to core values in this country.
Me up.
We don't need stuff being all right, anyways.
I do. I need my stuff overnight. Let's get back to it.
We don't
Let's get back to Lions.
Yeah, the Lions. Okay, so I'm going to listen. I'll be the first one to admit that I was absolutely wrong. I did think that Dallas was coming in here after the
I did too.
the 3 weeks of performance by the Lions,
I was
two losses, 1 win, barely beating the Giants, beating the 2-10 hapless Giants at that point. So I was surprised. I did not have a lot of faith in Dan Campbell, and I'm listen again. First to admit, very wrong. I texted you guys on Thursday or morning or afternoon. I said this will be a true test, because I think the Lions looked like a rudderless ship that was out of control the last 3 weeks. I said this will be a true test for Dan Campbell to see how he handles adversity, because realistically, outside of the first 2 seasons where there was zero expectations on that team, and those teams were terrible. Being the underdog, doing what they did the last 3 years, getting the NFC Championship game, blah, 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 blah. I was very curious to see how they were going to react in this situation where the expectations were clearly very high for this team, and they were not living up to expectations. I think they would probably self-admit that. And to my surprise, and obviously to my pleasant surprise, they came out and put an ASS whooping on the Cowboys. That game got close a couple times, but generally speaking, I think, Marc, to your point, the offensive line play was far, far better. And the changes that they made, Jahmyr Gibbs continues to be probably one of the most impressive players in this league right now. I think that just overall, I was pretty impressed with their game plan. Again, for some reason, I didn't have a lot of faith. It's funny, Hoppy came up to me on Friday night after the game at North. And he goes, "Can you give Dan Campbell a little bit of credit?"
I saw that, yeah.
I said, "Yeah, I will. I'll give him some credit." But listen, I like Dan Campbell. I don't know that I've ever really been his biggest fan. Clearly, it's easy to pile on when the chips are down. I mean, if you look at the lines and the stat line, I mean, Goff was 25 of 34, 309, touchdown, only one sack. One sack.
Huge.
So he finished with a 111 rating. Montgomery had 6 carries, 60 yards. Gibbs, 12 carries, 43 yards. So not just, I mean, listen, his catches were more indicative of his total game because he had 7 receptions for 77 yards. So he had over 100 all-purpose yards. But he just continues to be electric. And probably, to your point, Marc, as close to Barry Sanders as any Lion has been. And for that matter, any player in the league has been. Just when he gets the ball, it's just like your eyes are focused on him. Like, okay, what's he going to do? What's he going to do?
He'll surpass Barry next game.
He should.
Yeah. It wasn't a pretty game, but
no,
they made the plays they needed to when it needed to be done. They stepped up when they needed to. They bounced back. So it was a solid win. Definitely. I thought the play calling was good. Like you said, the O-line, it's good to see them. Gibbs, dude, the guy's phenomenal. You look at the post-game conference, Campbell talking about St. Brown, and I didn't know. I didn't think he was going to play. And, dude, I mean, he didn't look like he hurt his ankle at all. And he's like, he is the toughest SOB I know.
Yeah,
and
SOB,
that's who we are. So I thought that was pretty telling and awesome.
I mean, look at Jack Campbell in that game. 12 total tackles.
What was
6
he
solo?
18th pick?
Was he the 8th? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He
Got a
was
sack.
first round.
Yeah. 1 tackle for loss, 1 QB hit.
18th pick.
Anzalone had another big game, 7 tackles. Muhammad, who got a game ball, he had 3 sacks.
To me, people were complaining about Aiden Hutchinson. And this is the first game I think you've seen the rest of the defensive line step up. If you're going to double team Aiden Hutchinson, that means Elquidin Mohammed, number 96, is going to be available. He got 3 sacks. He's got 4 quarterback hits, 3 tackles for losses, 3 solo, and 3 total tackles. So if you're going to double him and you're still going to get 5 sacks, he got a sack. Jack Campbell got a sack. And then the other sack was Aleem McNeil. So you're going to get 5 sacks. Double team him all day, because that means you're going to have somebody wide open and someone's going to be able to rush the quarterback with only having single teamed.
I did notice he got owned a few times. One of
Muhammad or
Hutch.
Oh yeah, he will.
Yeah, again, I think me especially has been pretty tough on Hutch, rightly so. I don't know. Listen, I'm stealing a bit of the thunder from our local sports talk radio, but they make great points when they say that this is on the organization to get him help. When you get people like Muhammad stepping up and getting 3 sacks and getting a game ball, I mean, that clearly helps. It should free up Hutch. But they continue to have issues on the defensive line, putting pressure on opposing quarterbacks. I mean, Dak had Let's see. 31 of 47, 376 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. One of them was tipped, if I'm not mistaken. He finished with a 79.7 rating, so not the greatest rating, in the world. But, Javonte Williams, 17 carries, 67 yards. So for the most part, they held everyone in check. CeeDee Lamb had 6 receptions, 121 yards. Ryan Flournoy, who I don't even know who the hell that is, 9 receptions, 115 yards. Jake Ferguson, 5 for 58.
He stepped up when George Pickens was just a little, because that's all Pickens was. He was a little B all game, honestly.
Yeah. Guys are using this bleep button more than I am.
Yeah, exactly.
But everyone keeps talking about how he deserves a $30-40 million contract. I tell you what, maybe I haven't watched him all season, but this goes into the same. Yeah, this goes into the same problems he had when he was in Pittsburgh at the Steelers. The Steelers put up with Antonio Brown. They put up with all these other guys for years, and they got rid of Pickens. What does that tell you? How bad Pickens is?
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
How about Kennedy getting a game ball? That was.
Damn it! You stole my thunder.
Sorry, that was awesome.
That's good. It was really awesome.
I mean, we were, what was it, 2 weeks ago? We were like, who's Kennedy?
Yeah.
Next man.
He's
He's
been on the practice squad for 4 years.
He's been on the practice squad for 4 years. Is that right?
Oh, it's about 3-4 years he's been with the Lions, Tom Kennedy.
Yeah,
I want to bring up
returns.
one guy who was the 28th pick in last year's draft for the Lions, Tyreek Williams out of Ohio State, the defensive tackle. He's played 50. I'm trying to see how many games he's played this year. I think he's played in every game. He's got a total of 15 tackles. 5 solo tackles, 10 assisted tackles, no sacks. Just maybe he's going to get better. Maybe it's there. I don't want to call him a bust because obviously with the defensive line, defensive line has one, especially in those interior guys. You have one thing. You're supposed to be the offensive line of the defense. Pardon the expression, obviously. You're supposed to free up Jack Campbell. You're supposed to free up Malcolm Rodriguez. You're supposed to, free up Anzalone. And so they don't have anybody on them and they can make those tackles. So maybe, and I'm not watching obviously tape. I should probably look at tape a little closer, but maybe that's what he's doing. And Tyreek Williams really is that kind of taking on 2 or 3 guys to make sure those linebackers are open. But for number 28 pick in the draft, I would expect a little more out of him, especially a few more tackles.
28-21.
So here we go.
Green Bay.
We got 4 games left. Got Stafford and company next.
Ooh, that is going to be a tough game.
It's a tough one.
Tough game.
If
in LA, I think the Lions will, they have been.
I don't see a win, but
I don't see a loss either.
I don't either.
Here's
I'm
why
going into that game
the
same way I did this past week, Thursday. Like I don't know what to expect. We'll see.
I feel a little more comfortable for one reason. On what I saw this week out of the Rams. Do you see the score of the Rams game?
45-17.
They're destroying right now. And if the Rams had lost 2 straight games, I'd be a little more nervous. Then they definitely need a bounce back game. But
no, I disagree. I disagree. I respectfully disagree with you, Miller.
I'm looking up the opening money line, by the way, opening line, Rams minus 4.5, and it's staying at that. So Lions are getting 4.5 points out in LA. And here's the thing, it's going to be more Detroit fans than there will be LA fans.
Yeah, definitely.
It should be half and half at minimum. Well, here's what I was going to say. You're going to have wow, man, this is a great game. Caleb Williams and Jordan Love are slinging the ball over the field. This is impressive. Bird has a lot of pent up energy in this game. So whether they would have lost today or won today, I don't think it really matters. I think they're looking for this game. I think they're looking for some revenge. It's at home, despite it probably, like you said, going to be half and half. So I don't see the Lions winning this game.
I've noticed too the Rams fan base has been growing.
Well, yeah, as with anything. Yeah. I mean, 2-minute warning, 28-21 Green Bay, Bears on the move down the field. So, yeah, I just think that the way Stafford's been playing, the way he's throwing the ball around the field right now, the way their defense is playing, I just think that this is going to be a tough game. So, yeah, I mean, even if they lose and they move to 8-6, right? Listen, the Steeler game the next week is not an easy game either. The Steelers went into Baltimore today and won 27-22. Oh, yeah, by the way, for any Ravens fans that are you-know-whatting and complaining about the touchdown that was called back, catch the ball, hang on to the ball, And this should be as an example amongst all other wide receivers.
Calvin Johnson.
Well, not only that, but I said this to you guys last night in the Ohio State game. The one touchdown that Ohio State had, the kid, it wasn't Smith. I think it was Tate. He got the ball. He it seemed like he had it for a split second, then he throws it. I'm like, dude, can we please just hang on to the ball? I don't understand this notion of you have to throw the ball immediately. Like, why would you even give a referee any chance to say incomplete because you didn't complete the process of the pass? It's exactly what happened in that game today. He caught it. He put 1 foot down, 2 feet down, and before the third foot went down, he lost control of the ball. It's an incomplete pass, period, end of story. It's the same thing with these kids that go across the end zone where they look like they got a free run right into the end zone, and then they throw the ball before they cross the goal line. Hang on to the ball. Why don't you do something? You want to celebrate, go celebrate. Hand the ball to the referee or spike it maybe, right? And usually that takes a little bit of time to actually draw back and then slam the ball on the ground.
Did you see that Josh Allen touchdown today where he ran 40 yards? And you could tell he wanted to slide in the snow, and like he kind of stuttered. And then he's like, no, I'm just running through the end zone and hanging onto the ball.
Yeah.
It's
that
was
tough.
pretty good.
Yeah. I guess it's in a lot of cases, and I pointed it out to Mike when we were at the game yesterday. God, I mean, I'm only 50, but I feel like I'm 90 at times. And I know Mike probably feels 190 because he's even more of a old man river than I am. Even at the game, all these individual handshakes, taking pictures, these, all these kids do. It's ridiculous. But
well, everything's about social media. Everything's about what can I do to get clicks. Everything's about how do I become prominent? How do I become a star? How do I become an influencer? How do I become this?
Speaking
how do
of
I do
that,
that?
if everybody can like and share us and comment on us and make sure you guys are telling your friends, we appreciate that.
Yeah. Try not to use social media, though. So try not to use social media, though.
So
joking.
I mean,
Jimmy,
outside of this, but
I did a geeky thing the other day at the Luther North Mooney game. I was sitting with Bobby, and I'm like, I'm doing simple math. First off, Bobby thinks I'm a magician because I can do math in my head really fast. But I go to Bobby, I'm like, take a guess how many dollars worth of sneakers there are just on the court. And I call them sneakers. That really tells me I'm old. Basketball shoes. 30 kids between the two teams. And I did a quick math based upon an average dollar amount.
Hold on. Before you tell me, can I get... See, I'm not good at...
What are you doing?
I'm not...
Let me get out my calculator.
4,500.
4,500. Green Bay.
I guesstimated 150 pair of shoes.
About $6,000 in basketball shoes around the court at that time.
Yeah.
And that's assuming only one pair of shoes, because you figure an average of $175 to $200 a pair and some of those pairs, some of the kids were wearing like $250. It just blows my mind. I'm cheapskate in general. Don't get me wrong, but we'll talk about that. By the way, one last thing I want to bring up about the game last week, and this was a lot of, hold on, I gotta say this. This was a lot of that pass interference that was called on Ferguson on the Cowboys at the end of the game, that last play that they had.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm gonna say, who the bleep cares? He didn't catch the ball. It was, if I'm not mistaken, it was 4th down or 3rd down, whatever it was. If he had caught it and that was the situation, that's one thing. But he didn't even come close to catching it. And the Lions ended up declining that penalty. So in the end, who cares? And then they're talking about how this is going to change everything. No, it's not. It meant nothing. If he had caught the ball, yes, I could see. But why even complain about it if you didn't catch the ball? So... obviously, Mike's enthralled by the Bears game right now. But
no, I am.
The
TV went blank for a minute. I'm like, are you kidding me? You can't do this when this play is about to. It's 4th and 1.
Come on,
27
Jimmy,
seconds.
real quick, Jimmy, do you know what the Heidi game was?
What?
The Heidi game?
No.
It was a it was a Raiders playoff game back in the 70s. Now I got to look this up.
Picked it off.
The Heidi game.
This is actually good for the Lions.
Right. So, all right. It was a game between the Raiders and the Jets in 1968. And what happened is because of the timing on the game was going into extra time or overtime or something of that nature. But I think it was CBS had to actually go to a movie of the week, Heidi. So before the game was over, they cut the national broadcast and started playing the movie of the week. Oakland scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute to win 43-32. So if you ever want to look up anybody for my geeky history, and it was November 17th in 1968 when they switched over from the game to Heidi because they had to broadcast that. So
that'll ruin your night.
It is. All right. So let's talk about some of the other games this week.
Threw a interception to end the game.
Who did?
Caleb Williams.
Caleb Williams. Okay.
Vikings win.
Your TV's behind mine.
Vikings. Jesus. Packers win.
All
Dude,
right, so you got
the wide open receiver. Don't try to throw it.
No, that's good. That's good for the Lions.
Blake Corum today, 128 yards. The Rams with the victory, 45-17 at State Farm Field.
Does he still own that vacuum company?
Who?
Which one?
Blake Corum?
No, you know who did the vacuuming was who's that guy I hate? Connor Stallions. He sold used vacuums.
That's right.
The Seahawks, the number 1 seed in the NFC, 37-9. They beat up on the Falcons. Darnold, 249 yards passing, 3 touchdowns. But Bijan Robinson was leading rusher at 86 yards. Jackson and Smith and Jigba, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Ooh,
talk about him.
Yeah. Hold on, real quick. LaFleur and Ben Johnson, a very, very brief handshake, literally almost running by each other.
Yeah,
like no words exchanged.
Well,
I don't like LaFleur, to be honest.
LaFleur.
No, he does have the most punchable face in all of football. Plus, he's from Mount Pleasant, the team.
What was that?
Or the university that I don't care about.
Spark he made in the post game against the Lions when he called timeout and.
Oh, he said, no, it was legit. And he went,
yeah.
Had that look on his face.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, now that game's over, I can concentrate.
Bills came back to beat the Bengals 39-34. I thought Joe Burrow was going to do the incredible, but I'm surprised the Bills came back to win that game.
He played a good game.
Burrow played a good game, except for he made a crucial mistake in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, with that pick.
He had 2 back-to-back plays, interceptions. The one, it looked like he kind of got a weird snap in the shotgun. He had the ball. He almost kind of shot-putted it, tried to shot-put it over the defensive back that actually ended up leaping in the air pretty tall and got the ball and then just ran for a pick 6. And then the very next play on the following possession, ball got tipped to the line and another interception. So back-to-back. But yeah, to your point, Mark, I mean, I thought, honestly, I'm thinking to myself, man, if the Bengals would have won that game and gone to 5-8, they would have inserted themselves in the mix even further, which would have further solidified the thought process that Joe Burrow is an absolute elite, which I do think he is, quarterback, to bring a team back from the doldrums of where they were. But, I mean, now they're sit at 4-9. Bills move to 9-4. That clearly looks like that's the nail in the coffin for the Bengals. And I do like Joe Burrow, I really do.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
Yeah. So, and then of course in the other game, like I said, the Steelers take down the Ravens. The Ravens move to 6-7. I think they're pretty much, for all intents and purposes, they're done. So now it looks like the Steelers are absolutely in the forefront to take the AFC North, despite the best efforts or lack thereof of the Cleveland Browns, who lost to the hapless, and when I say hapless, the former 1-11 Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans who went into Cleveland and scored 31 points on the vaunted Browns defense. And my hapless Browns fall to 3-10. I like Kevin Stefanski. I think Kevin Stefanski is probably a good offensive coordinator.
He's not gone tomorrow.
He's gone. Yeah, I think they have to fire him. You don't have a choice.
So let's be proactive with this. Haslam's.
John
Once
Gruden.
again, You forget Gruden. He's going to ask for too much money.
Who
Like
cares?
Jimmy and I.
Oh God.
$3 million a year.
Here we go.
That's all we want. $3 million
It's funny.
and a home near the lake so Mike can put his boat.
That's one of my
$3 million, Browns. We'll be there. I'll be there tomorrow.
That's one of my notes. I obviously following you guys, being absent again. Miller, I heard you put that out there. I'm willing to.
I've got no calls. I don't know why.
I'm willing to lower my contract to $401,000 a year. Does that number sound familiar?
Okay.
Does that sound familiar?
It does. It does. It does. But we're going to now go, okay, Browns, $2.5 million. Forget 3. We're going to do 2.5. You get the 3 of us. Get the 3 of us.
I'm going to have to go lower.
Here's the deal. If this is going to happen, I want the number 19 in the Ring of Honor at whatever stadium they're going to be playing in. Bernie Kosar's number needs to be retired. Period.
Yeah.
End of story.
I agree.
I'll take less money if that happens.
That being said, obviously for our North Ohio fans that we have, we've got a pretty good amount of people that listen to us for Browns discussion. Shedeur Sanders, Mike and I were talking before we came on, and I said, what are they going to do? Try to lose so they can take 3 more quarterbacks in the draft? And I didn't realize what Shedeur put up today, but put up 364 yards, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
1 pick. I mean, he's young. He's going to throw some picks early on, and he was sacked twice. But what more do you want a quarterback to do?
Well, he looks better than Dylan Gabriel. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Deshaun Watson was cleared to practice as well with the Browns.
Oh, Jesus.
It does appear as if he is going to be on the roster for the 2026-2027 season.
He has to.
Yeah,
because it's going to cost him more money to cut him than it would be to put him on the bench, and hopefully he gets another injury.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Shedeur didn't look. I didn't get to watch the game because once again, it was not on here. Last week was an anomaly, being able to watch them lose to the Niners. But, yeah, I mean, listen, Myles Garrett had another sack today. Had
2 QB hits.
Yep. 3 tackles for losses, 4 solo tackles. So he continues to put up Hall of Fame numbers, essentially. But I mean, outside of that and outside of the quote-unquote promise of Shedeur, I guess, at this point, thrown for 364 yards. But, I mean, this is the vaunted Browns defense that gave up 31 points to the, I continue to use this word, hapless. Well, I don't know other way to describe what the Titans were. A free fall. And now the Browns are clearly free falling. It's hard to even talk about. It's just so frustrating. I feel like a Lions fan from 5 years ago who were in this very same situation. And before they brought Dan Campbell in. Yeah, look at that. I just gave Dan Campbell some more credit.
All right, so real quick. Andy. Garrett or Parkins? Who are you taking?
What?
Right now.
Garrett or who?
Parkins.
Micah Parsons? Yeah. Garrett. Well, there's no doubt. Dude, Garrett is on a totally different level than anybody in the NFL right now in terms of defensive linemen.
And he's not as injury prone as Micah Parsons has been.
I saw that question and they put Hutch in there. I'm like, Hutch is
no.
Yeah, I'm like no.
With Micah Parsons,
and Parsons and Garrett.
Garrett?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
no.
Hutch is a good.
No,
Hutch is a good player. He's not.
He's a good player.
Not in the same.
He had a great rookie.
Sphere.
He had a great rookie season. He had a decent second season. So expectations are high. He's not playing the same football he used to, at least this year.
You know, I'm looking at the stats from that Cleveland game, guys, and Cam Ward 117 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, nothing.
No.
Tony Pollard 161 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns. Still okay, that's
carries.
great. 181. I'm like, okay, so there must have been a ton of turnovers. There was 2 fumbles, one of them lost, and 1 pick. So that just tells me that was the defense of Cleveland, either giving them some short fields or something to that effect. I'll have to look into that further.
Yeah, I think, again, you don't wish ill will on anybody in their job, but at this point, I mean, Stefanski has to go. They're just, I get it. The Haslams and the front office has been saying, was saying, still is saying, this is a building year. This is a analytical year. This is a analyze what we have year. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't continue this. This is not promising. There is nothing promising coming out. Again, I guess the only thing that's promising is Myles Garrett. And today, a glimmer of hope at quarterback with Shedeur passing for as much as he did.
I was going to say, is this an open competition next year right now, the way you're looking at it between Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders? Or are you really going to consider the third Deshaun Watson in that?
Well,
I still think Deshaun Watson is the most
Yeah.
despicable NFL player in history, but that's a different story.
Well,
yeah.
setting all that aside, if he's going to be on the roster, he's going to be in the mix. He
He
has
has
to
to.
be. Right.
Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, he's going to be there. I mean, Shedeur's going to be there, and yeah, I mean, there'll be a quarterback competition. Now, to your point, is Shedeur doing enough for them to not look at a quarterback in the draft? I have no idea. I mean, I heard last night on the broadcast that everybody in Northeast Ohio, meaning Cleveland, is looking at Carnell Tate to draft him, which I think would be a good move. Maybe at that point you start looking at, okay, we bring in a wide receiver like him to pair him with I almost said Watson. Holy mackerel. Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Well,
I mean, I don't.
and Stefanski was the one that didn't want Shedeur, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then there's a lot of talk about Stefanski's trying to sabotage Shedeur. He's not making the right play calls, this, that, and everything else. It's just a mess, man. I mean, it's so frustrating being a Browns fan. It really is. I mean, you look at Stefanski. I mean, he's the 2-time coach of the year. Twice in the past 6 years, he's been coach of the year. So while there was so much promise, he's obviously lost whatever control he had, whatever momentum he had, and unfortunately they're a dumpster fire. I feel like I'm rambling on, but
honestly, what do you think it is? You think it's ownership? Because I mean, how many times have they reset now?
It's ownership. It's the Haslams. The Haslams are more interested in putting the Haslams are more interested in putting in billions of dollars in this stupid ass dome thing. Pardon my French. Out in Brook Park than they are building a team. I mean, that's at least what it seems like from the outside looking in. I mean, I understand the whole dome and the whole multi-use venue and this, that, and everything else. But I mean, what I text you guys today with that from that Bills Bengals game, is there anything better than you're talking to and looking at someone that does not like snow?
Mm-hmm.
But what did I say? Is there anything better than snow on a football field?
Yeah.
There isn't.
There's not.
You don't get that in a stupid dome. Oh, it affects the game. Right. And it was built and football was created to be played outside in the elements.
Well, I mean, look at that.
I went off on a rant.
Look at Browns fans and Lions fans, how similar they are. I mean, they still stick with the team.
Similar, yeah, right.
I mean, obviously the Lions have success lately more than
let's
the
go back to
Browns.
coaching real quick here, guys.
Yeah.
And I want to get your thoughts because I know what mine is. And this frustrates me a lot when it comes to coaches trying to be too smart for their own good. Where you are trying to put, you try to wrap your player around your system versus wrapping your systems around players, what their keys and what their best attributes are. I think one of the things that Campbell does, and one of the things that you really see well with Brad Holmes, when it comes to drafting, is they pick the players that they think are going to be best, and they're not afraid to change some of their systems. They've changed some defense, they've changed some offensive style, depending on what they've got. Then you've got other players and other coaches and other front offices who are, nope, we have to draft our players. They have to be here, and you have to conform to what we want you to. If a coach can't change up, whether that be plays, whether that be a little bit of scheming, going from week to week, depending on who you're playing, whenever it comes to a lot of those things, you have to be able to change, and you have to be able to make do with what you have versus, you're really going to fail in a lot of cases, like you said about Stefanski. He's putting Shedeur maybe in some positions where he wasn't set to win and he couldn't really win. And maybe should you change your offense a little bit, seeing what Shador's doing? It's not necessarily changing full offense. You're just going to be changing some of your play calling, changes some of your schemes week to week, depending on who you're playing when it comes to that.
All right.
Yeah.
This is this is good. This is gonna get you guys real interesting now. With the Pack beating the Bears. So now you're looking at let's see. So the Pack have
Who's on tonight? Houston.
the Pack go to the Broncos. So at Denver. And then they're back versus the Bears at Chicago. They get the Ravens at home, so versus Baltimore, and then they wrap up the season at the Vikings. So let's just go through this really quick. So let's just say the Lions versus at the Rams, they lose, drops them to 8-6. Versus Steelers, I do think they win that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's 9-6. Yeah, I think they go to Minnesota, and I think they win there, 10-6. Last game of the season at the Bears. Sorry, I think that's a loss.
That's for everything. That's for everything.
I think that's a loss. That puts them at
Depends
10-7.
on the weather. It's going to be cold, obviously, but
yeah.
I mean,
so
you put those snow games in there, that it changes everything.
So you've got the Pack is now 9-3-1, right? They've got that tie.
Uh-huh.
The Bears dropped to 9-4. You've got Carolina sitting at 7-6. You've got San Francisco at 9-4. I'm just using the teams that they're bundled in with the Leos as we speak.
Yeah.
And then you've got Tampa Bay at 7-6. So essentially, you're going to get Tampa Bay and Carolina battling it out. That's going to come down to the last game of the season. They play each other the very last game of the season. That'll be for the NFC East, essentially, right? Or I'm sorry, no, that'd be the NFC South. The South. Because Carolina, let's go at Saints. That puts them to 8-6. Versus the Bucks, I think they probably win there, 9-6. Versus Seahawks, loss, 9-7. At the Bucks, let's say they lose that, they're 9-8. Tampa Bay versus the Falcons, they've improved to 8-6. At the Panthers, I said that was a loss, so that makes them 8-7. At Miami, I think they win 9-7. Versus the Panthers, 10-7. They win the NFC South, so they're in. San Francisco probably will end up versus the Titans, 10-4. At the Colts. Oh, the Colts are reeling. Did you see that game today?
Yeah.
I was just going to bring that up after.
They've
lost
about that
3
real
straight.
quick while I do this, will you?
Yeah, they've lost 3 straight. The Chiefs, the Texans, and the Jaguars. I mean, they got blown out by the Jaguars today after one of the hottest teams in football. But then
I didn't see that coming.
I didn't either. I thought, Daniel Jones maybe truly coming back to earth.
Mm.
I think it's sad.
Dude, the Niners could end up 13-4.
Mm-hmm.
They have a pretty favorable schedule going forward. The Bears versus the Browns. So the Bears are they'll improve to 10-4 next week. Versus the Pack, my guess is they win at home versus the Pack. They move to 11-4. At the Niners, I think they lose 11-5. Versus the Lions, they win 12-5. The Pack 9-3. They're at Denver. I think they lose at Denver. I think they're going to 9-4-1. At Chicago, I think they lose there 9-5-1. Versus Baltimore, win 10-5-1. And then they're at the Vikings 11-5-1. So even in this scenario, I think the Bears still win the North. The Pack are in at 11-5 at 11-5-1. The Bucks are in at 10-7. The Niners are the Lions still at this point are in as the 8th seed right now. The way I just played this out at 10-7, believe it or not, at least according to what I'm looking at here, is they're in.
Hopefully,
because you've got Rams, Green Bay, Philly, Tampa. Oh, I didn't put Seattle in there. Ooh. Ooh.
I mean, the whole scenario is going to change next week too. So
actually, I'm sorry, they're out.
Yeah, every week it's going to change.
They're out at 10-7. Sorry, the Lions are out at 10-7, not in. They have to sneak a win in. They have to win. They have to win at the Rams or at the Bears. If they lose either one of those games, they're out. That's the way I look at it right now.
They got to win 3 out of 4, and they definitely have to win that Bears game. I think.
Yeah, you're right. They have to win 3 out of 4
for them to get in.
Or any combination. 2 losses. If they go 2-2, they're done. If they go 3-1, they've got a chance.
Yeah.
Clearly, if they go 1-3,
it helped that Green Bay
out.
one. So.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Not really though, because if they would,
you want to bring their record down because Green Bay already,
Yeah, but if they would, but they lose all tiebreakers with the Pack, so yeah, it kind of helped them that the Green Bay won, but this is going to be an interesting 4 weeks here, boys.
Oh, because if Green Bay wins out, obviously beats the Bears again, they win the division. So that helps the Lions.
I'm predicting the Bears beat the Pack at home. So I've got the Bears at 12-5 winning the division. A half game over the Pack at 11-5-1. At least that's the way I'm looking at it right now. So
the good thing is
it'll be fun.
We're going to experience the greatest reality TV show ever in sports. Sports is always the greatest reality TV show.
Oh, I was going to say, what are you surprising me with? Are we creating a new reality TV show?
I don't know. We're going on
Watch
the Amazing
football
Race.
with Ward and Miller.
How much would people pay for that?
Not much.
This is the diary of Marc Miller.
You
think you know, but you have no idea.
Let's switch over from the guys that get paid to the guys that get paid in college football.
Get paid less.
Some of them they do. Some of them they get paid more. Let's talk about the college football playoffs. The biggest upset, the biggest controversy we're hearing right now, obviously, is Notre Dame getting shut out. And not only that, Notre Dame's athletic director came out and said, this is a farce. We don't believe in it. In fact, we're not even going to go play in a bowl game this year. So they have withdrawn their name from a bowl game. Tells you how rich a school is when they don't need $3-4 million to go play in a big time bowl. But I'm looking at the teams now who made it and looking at these first round matchups starting in the 19th. Oklahoma versus Alabama. I don't think Alabama or Oklahoma, either one of them, deserve to be in it, but that's just me. Texas A&M, Miami,
Oklahoma.
Tulane versus Ole Miss. We're not even going to get into it today, but I'm going to go into what Lane Kiffin's contract is at LSU. Let's just say that if Ole Miss wins the title this year, Lane Kiffin gets a bonus of $1.5 million from LSU.
Wow.
You've got James Madison versus Oregon, Tulane versus Ole Miss, and then you got Ohio State, Texas Tech, Indiana, and Georgia getting the byes. It's funny, the ACC, the two teams that played in the ACC title game, neither of them are even going to be in the college playoff. But you've got Miami that's going to be in it there. Duke winning the ACC title game with 5 losses. I think they should have put them in. That would have been crazy. But what do you guys think? Do you guys disagree with what I said about that?
This what the hell is it? The best of 5, not
System.
The best of 5. What's the Power 5, right? Has to get the 2 automatic bids or the 2 conference champion bids.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just go with the best 12 teams in the country? I mean, I understand playing for your conference championship, whether it be Big Ten, Pac-10, whatever, right? But how do you keep Notre Dame out of it? I mean, they've been one of the most, if not the most dominant football teams in America outside of Indiana, clearly, which outside of like last night's win against Ohio State.
We'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I find it very hard to believe and unfortunate that you're going to take Notre Dame out of this. I'm looking at a bracket that had Tulane versus Texas Tech, Notre Dame versus Oklahoma, Miami was in versus Ole Miss, and then Alabama, Oregon played. That was a prospective bracket, but that obviously did not take into account the Power Five. So I don't know. There's going to be a lot of controversy around this. I mean, I do like Notre Dame. I like Marcus Freeman a lot as a coach. I think he's a great coach. Clearly a team that started 0-2 and lost to Miami, the team that eventually beat you out for the spot in the college football playoff. But it says a lot about a coach to be able to take a team that went 0-2, who had such high aspirations, and right the ship in a pretty short period of time and then reel off 10 wins. So it's very unfortunate that Notre Dame is not going to be in this.
Yeah.
But
they're hopping. What do you tell on paper? Who beat who between Miami and Notre Dame?
Well, that's what I was going to say. So really, realistically, so realistically, the only thing you can do is look at head to head, which to the committee's credit, that's what they did, and they chose Miami. But my point is, if Notre Dame is one of the top 12 teams in the country, which clearly they are, then they need to be in the playoff. Again, I understand the conference championships and the criteria that the committee is looking at / demanding to have the 12 teams go in, but I don't know.
It's annoying. They're never going to get it right. You go from 2 teams to 4 teams to 8.
Happy. Exactly. You're never going to make anybody happy.
No. But
so go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say, do you penalize teams that maybe were in their conference title games? I mean, let's look at BYU. BYU, I'm just trying to find where they're playing.
I think I know where you're going with this.
So they're in the by the way, the greatest bowl game, the Pop-Tart Bowl. Can you tell me what state and city the Pop-Tart Bowl is in?
The what?
Pop-Tart Bowl. Georgia Tech versus BYU.
No idea.
It used to be Phoenix, and now it is the Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida. But if let's just put for instance, if BYU did not play in their championship game, and they were not in the Big 12 championship game, and they finished at 11-1, they probably would have made the playoffs. And granted, who would you have taken out? Whatever any of those things, maybe you take out an Alabama, you take out somebody else there, but they got hurt by playing in their title game. Texas Tech, obviously, the only 2 losses BYU had this year were both blowout losses at Texas Tech. So I think that's part of the equation. But it's interesting there. By the way, next week, guys, I am going to create a quiz for both of you. We are going to go over the all the bowl games and where their locations are at, and I'm going to change some of them, like the
Miller. I hate homework.
Wasabi Bowl. Yeah.
Listen, shout out to ESPN, not for their ridiculous non-mobile phone compatible bracket. What a pathetic. You can't even read the stupid thing on one page. This is ridiculous. There's my rant right now, ESPN. You suck.
Go on CBS.
So we'll go
CBS.
in more. We'll go in more in depth the next.
Hold on a minute here
for that. Some of that.
Yeah, we can. I guess I was gonna give you my predictions, but
no. Let's because we haven't none of us had a chance to really look at it. We'll give you our predictions. They don't start until the 19th, so next week's only the 13th.
Next topic.
Rematch
the greatest
State versus Indiana in the national championship game.
I'm trying to get comfortable here.
Who versus
Ohio State versus Indiana?
Oh, that would be a great matchup. So let's talk about that game. Let's talk about that game last night, the Ohio State Indiana game. The game that meant nothing, but yet did mean something. Reality, it did, because I think if Indiana had lost that game, it's going to be, it's Indiana. They haven't played anybody all year. Who can they beat? Whether Ohio State
we thought they were.
Right. It was a good game, good division, back and forth. But I think we're going to have Clark on to give us a real breakdown of IU.
Text
football.
thread got a little
Heated.
Well, I wouldn't say
Not
heated.
heated,
Just
but yeah.
agree to disagree. We can get into it if you want.
Here's my take on last night's game. I give Signetti, even though he's not my most favorite coach in the world.
He's one of your punchable coaches.
Come on, Mike. You're being kind right now.
Oh, I'm trying to be very politically correct. I'm trying to give you a very good analysis, but this game clearly meant more to Indiana than it did Ohio State. Indiana played like that was the national championship game. They played with emotion. They played with raw emotion. They dominated the lines of scrimmage. I shouldn't say dominated the lines of scrimmage, but they certainly held their own against the vaunted lines of scrimmage of said Ohio State. They had more passion. They had more energy. Ohio State, not that they clearly, it was a 3-point game, probably should have gone into overtime. Everything I just said. Ohio State looked at times a little disinterested, which you would probably expect. You are coming off of probably, arguably, the most emotional win of the Ryan Day era, and I say that with a little bit of tongue in cheek because he beats Michigan to improve to 2-4, improve to.
Mm-hmm.
But you could feel the monkey come off of his back and Ohio State's back. And again, I think I talked about this last week. Ryan Day, who I've never been the biggest fan of, but I've become, and I'm not just saying that because he won a national championship, but his post-game reaction, his post-game press conference, his post-game interactions impressed the living daylights out of me. It's almost like we saw Ryan Day grow up before our very eyes. I was watching Rich Eisen on his podcast, and he said similar things. And Rich Eisen is one of the largest slappies of University of Michigan football there is. He gave Ryan Day a lot of credit, and I do too. What he did, what he said, how he went up to Sharon Moore and said, listen, we're not planting the flag, but please get your players off the field because it's going to cause, if there's something that's going to happen, it's because they're on the field. So he specifically came out and said, we're not planting the flag. We're not here to do that. And then in the post-game press conference, you could see the reporters kind of teeing up the questions to almost think that Ryan Day was going to go crazy and go, F Michigan, we kicked it, blah, blah, blah. And what did Ryan Day do? Very calm. He said, hey, we win this game. We win it with humility. We've got to put things into perspective. We have things left to do. We know what the big picture is. And I'm like, holy cow, Ryan Day literally just grew up in front of all of our eyes. I'm not saying that condescendingly either. So to my point about last night, getting back to that, where I do think that Ohio State, you could almost feel the letdown coming. I mean, it's almost inevitable. So that said, they're still in the game. They missed a chip shot field goal with a minute left, essentially, that would have tied the game, probably would have put it into overtime. So yeah, Ohio State looked like the playbook kind of got a little, not sketchy, but a little conservative. Looked like they maybe didn't want to expose a lot of things. Looked like they wanted to get out of that game without having a serious injury. So listen, hats off to IU. They played a spectacular game. Very impressed by them. They are well deserving of the number 1 seed in the country and in the college football playoff. Kirk Signetti has completely turned the entire program around. A perennial doormat being the Hoosiers of Indiana. Yes,
he's led
Marc?
the blueprint. He's led the blueprint for how to do NIL in this day and age. How to coach an NFL and NFL junior team in this day and age. Yeah.
Right.
Two quick things I want to talk about college football before we move on real quick. Did either of you guys see the news about Iowa State and Kansas State?
Yeah, Iowa State's go ahead.
Iowa State and Kansas State both had their coaches move on to I think Iowa State's coach is now coaching Penn State, and I can't remember where Kansas State's coach is going to, but the Big 12, both of those teams, their athletic directors took them out of consideration for a bowl game because they don't have a staff in place. They don't have people that'd be able to play in that, to coach the teams technically right now. Big 12 fined both universities $500,000 because they're going to turn down bowl games. Which, yeah, I mean, honestly, they're costing their conferences a couple $1 million each by not going to a bowl game. And I understand you don't have the coaches. Most of those coaches are taking their top assistants and moving on to the next ones. But that shows you this problem we have with coaches going to different locations now. So that's 3 big teams: Iowa State, Kansas State, and Notre Dame not going to bowl games. And now you got a bunch of 5 and 7, 6 and 7 teams now all going to be kind of moving on when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy and it's ridiculous, but it's the way it is nowadays. And so, as I mentioned, we'll talk about it here in a minute too, but next week we're going to go over our bowl breakdowns. Maybe we'll put together a simple bowl, what do you call it? We'll do a bowl bracket. We'll send them out so we can kind of all do that. And maybe we'll look at giving away get some t-shirts printed up and maybe give away some t-shirts or something like that to some of the winners.
I want to touch real quick on the Michigan State hiring of Pat Fitzgerald. I am a very, I don't want to say a staunch supporter, an avid supporter, whatever. I think this is a great hire by Michigan State. You can already see he was at the basketball game and the hockey game this past week. The energy that man is going to bring to this program, the once proud Spartans of Michigan State. I do think that in time, I think especially with a guy like him, and he's got a pretty doggone good coaching record. They were talking about his record at Northwestern and how he turned that program around. Now with the resources that Michigan State has, and what he'll be able to do in NIL, I think this is a great hire by Michigan State.
That program needed that, and
yeah,
we all saw.
Jonathan Smith is not a bad football coach. I just don't think it was the right fit. I really don't.
Obviously, we were talking about their future plans to upgrade the stadium.
Looks awesome.
Yeah,
it looks pretty neat.
Yeah, did you see those scoreboards?
Show of hands with the 3 of us. How many people knew Pat Fitzgerald was exonerated and found no wrongdoing at Northwestern?
He was issued a public apology, by the way.
I did not even know that.
I didn't follow that until he got hired, and
yeah,
I think
as a matter of fact, here
he was on.
I pulled this up. Former Northwestern coach Pat Fitzgerald did indeed receive a public apology from the university as part of a settlement to his wrongful termination lawsuit in August of 2025, where Northwestern acknowledged evidence did not prove his involvement in hazing, but admitted he should have known about the culture, leading to his firing and eventually hiring by Michigan State this past week. He was fired in 2023 over the hazing scandal. So he, I guess to his credit, I mean, he sued the university, part of a wrongful termination lawsuit, and has won. And the Northwestern University, they issued a public apology to him.
Yeah,
they're alumni, Coach Fitzgerald. So yeah, a great hire by Michigan State. A man who knows who their number one rival is, Michigan. A man who has ties clearly to the Big Ten. His playing days at Northwestern against Michigan, his coaching days at Northwestern against Michigan, and I think this is. You know what it reminded me of this week when he went on that court at Breslin? It reminded me of Jim Tressel in 2001 when he was hired and he went on to St. John Arena and he made that speech similar to, and we know exactly what we're going to do in 315 days, I think it was. Yeah. And that led to, pretty much the dominance the next 8 years that he dominated Michigan. So I'm not drawing the correlation that Pat Fitzgerald is going to dominate Michigan over the next 8 years. So nobody start saying stuff like that. Huh?
Maybe they'll sell some gold pants too. So that could happen as well.
No, I'm excited to see what he can do for this program. I think so. Honestly, I want him to succeed. And so far, he said all the right things. I mean,
he seems like a great guy. I mean, I love his energy. That's what you need in a football program.
I mean, he didn't throw a bite in kneecaps, but it was.
And let's be honest, this is what we need to find out first.
I would like to just get to know you.
Yeah, we just need to get to know him first.
Yeah.
The UFP is going to reach out to him.
Then he's going to do this.
You get out of my face, or I'm gonna roundhouse your ass.
Yeah, I can see him saying
Right.
that.
So
for
we're going to
sure.
do those things. That being said, we're an hour and 20 minutes in. So, Mike, thanks, Jimmy. By the way, you've eaten up all of our time with your talking, but
Dude,
I think we need to go for this
I
one
think
here.
I only used 40%. So
Yeah.
Oh, there's that music.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Mike's Rant of the Week. And now, here is Mike with his rant.
Boy, what do we got in store for us this
Well, there was a couple things I was going to do, but this guy, I'm sure he's a very nice man who's driving the Amazon truck, and he's working his tail off for his family, which I can 100% appreciate. So he's just doing what he's told. But here we go again with these Amazon deliveries at all hours of the day, all hours of the night, any day of the week, whatever it might be. Again, why do we need deliveries at 7:05 on a Sunday night? Can we get back to tradition? So
7:05.
the reason I
I've
kept
had
one
them
off
at
about that.
midnight.
I've had him at 3 in the
3
morning. That
yeah.
is, I'm not exaggerating. 3:14 in the morning. I watch the camera. I'm like, this poor guy. Again, it's not the person who is making the deliveries, the people that are driving these vehicles and dropping off. I God love them. I'm sure they're spectacular people. I'm sure they are. Clearly, if they are making deliveries for Amazon at 3:00 in the morning, they are an aggressive person that wants to make a living for their family. So kudos to them. It's Amazon, the evil Amazon, as I like to say, that is forcing these poor people to do these things. And it's all revolving around this, I have to have this right now. I can't get in my car and go anyplace. Clearly, you can't go anyplace at 7:05 on a Sunday night and
No.
buy anything, which is fine with me. I think we should go back to everything's closed on Sunday.
I don't
Oh.
need dude wipes at 3 a.m.
I
Speaking
don't
of
know.
that,
You've never been out of them like I have.
oh, I never run out of my dude wipes. Let me tell you about that right now. Because if I do, I know the next day we're going to have some serious irritation. Can't go without my dude wipes.
I agree. Dude, wipes are the best.
I mean, listen, I guess it is a short rant. Although I will say this, the guy in front of me yesterday was cut off by an Amazon truck. So again, the people that are working for Amazon, I have a lot of respect for them. They're working their tails off. They're doing great things. It does appear that there seems to be some lack of training for these folks. And if they want to have a career and support their family, I think Amazon should invest in even more training, further training for all of their people. So there you go, Mr.
Yeah.
Bezos. You need to invest in your people even further. So, yeah.
So I appreciate that, Mike, and I agree, but I need my stuff immediately.
No, you don't.
Just like that guy said, we got to get our microphones from Amazon. How else are we going to do our podcast to get this out to you fine people?
I got mine.
So I want to do a quick opposite of rant. I want to take a quick moment to do a very, very fast review and a heartfelt thank you for this past week. We had our trade show there in Toledo, which you guys did not get to partake in. Of course.
I think the
10 years
statute
ago.
of limitations isn't up for us yet, so we're not allowed back in Toledo.
Oh, that's right. You're not
together.
back allowed in Toledo. But we
Yeah.
had a really
Next
we
year.
had a very successful trade show this week in Toledo. It was very well attended. It was probably the best attended trade show that we've had in 6 years. It was spurred on by combining it with our RV division. So shout out to our RV people and our RV accounts that flew in from all over the Midwest to make this a highly
Just
successful
remember,
event.
Clark, that there's an RV. We're going to
There
take
is
it
an
when we
RV.
leave here next month.
That's right. So the
Had it?
2-day event went Wednesday and Thursday there at the Glass City Center. Wednesday evening from, I would say, 4:30 to 8 o'clock when it closed. It was insane. There was people everywhere. It was, I guess you would even almost call it a buying frenzy on the trade side, on the wholesale side. So just to see that many people there to support us, to support the vendors, I can't thank all of you enough. Shout out to one Robert Ward. Bobby, he took in his first trade show. He worked the aisle for SGL Sales and Marketing, all of the manufacturer rep groups that he's representing now, and I'm not just saying this as a Bobby slap because he's my kid. He far exceeded my expectations. I received multiple compliments from vendors, from dealers, from people I work with that came up to me and said, that kid is going to be a rock star.
That's freaking awesome.
It was pretty awesome to watch him in those booths talking about products and the passion he had. This is his first trade show. He's firing off stuff. He's talking about products like he's been doing this for 10 years. And people are looking at me and they're like, is he for real? I said, yeah.
And he cleaned himself up. He cut his hair short, and he's like,
He
man,
did.
dude,
He
he's like,
cut his curls
dude,
off the backside.
Yeah. I'm like, dude, you look great. And obviously his girlfriend Sam's like, yeah, I think he looks awesome. I was like, yeah.
I'm not just saying this. I mean, people were coming up to me. They're like,
dude,
have you been like training him? I'm like, no, I didn't. I mean, listen, obviously we talk about things and I'm trying to give him hints, but the guys at SGL have been doing a phenomenal job with him, getting him acclimated to things. Yeah, him and I did a pretty extensive pre-show meeting, I guess you would call it, last week. I kind of gave him a heads up as to what was exactly was going to go on the trade show floor and what he could expect. But I mean, it's like he snapped his fingers and he went into this salesman mode.
He's got that word blood, dude. I mean,
Dude.
I'm not trying to brag, but you know.
I mean, I told him again this morning how proud I was of him. I'm just like, you found your calling. I said, don't get me wrong. You have a tremendous amount to learn still. There's so many more things that you're going to be able to do. You have a lot of room for advancement. You've got a lot of things that you need to improve on. I'm not saying that he's perfect by any stretch, but I'm not saying the expectations were low, but for what he did this past week and how he dove straight in head first into this industry and what he's going to be able to do and hit the potential that young man has.
That's awesome.
Dude, it is just awesome.
All right, Miller.
So, shout out.
Miller, let me cash in another couple of minutes. Am I good? Okay.
Yeah,
sure,
you've been gone for a while, so go ahead.
So I want to piggyback off of that because there's a meaning to this. So, Miller, I know you brought up last week on the podcast that, you know, some of these schools need, you know, announcers for, you know, that they don't have. And I basically want to say, like, it's been 3-4 years now. You guys have been doing this. Do you guys have great talent? You really do. It's a side job. You guys are doing something that I think you've always wanted to do, and you would do it full time probably. So I think that's really cool.
We got paid, yes.
Yes. So I just want to vouch for these two guys. If you need an announcer, do not call me. That's not my forte. Okay.
If you want video and audio quality, call Jimmy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, we work in tandem.
Yeah. So the three of us, I hold on, I wrote this down. That's called the Pelican package. So, but anyway, all right. No, so real quick.
Did you say the Pelican package?
Yeah, that's from what movie is that?
Man.
God, what is Vince Vaughn? Oh, jeez. Of course.
You mean Wedding? Or,
no, not Wedding Crashers.
Couples Retreat?
Couples Retreat, yes. That's a great movie. Yes.
Eden East.
Yes. We call it the Pelican package.
My God.
All right, so
man.
So I'll make this as quick
great.
as possible. This is long overdue. Mike,
go ahead.
Huh?
Go ahead. No, you're good.
I need to thank you for, it was probably like 2 months ago. You did the announcing for a work event of ours. We had it at the Marriott Renaissance Center. You know, it was a contractor builder night. Our good friend, Kerry Wischlager, kind of spearheaded it. And, you know, he called me and he's like, he ended up going the one up north in Traverse City. And he's like, we need to do this in the Detroit market. So he kind of set it all up. So he called me and told me, you know, everything's booked, handled. And he's like, you know, you need help with anything? He's like, no, I think I got it covered. He's like, oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second here. I do need one thing from you. I was like, what? He goes, I want your brother's voice. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'll give Mike a call. And, you know, I called you and
first voice transplant.
You know, you had to check your schedule. You got back to me and you're like, yeah, let's do it, you know? And dude, you showed up, you nailed it. You knocked it out of the park. I had a couple Zoom meetings and, you know, at the state manager, regional manager, and they're like, yeah, we heard your brother's doing the announcing for us. And I was like, yeah, you know, credit to Kerry. That's what he wanted. And he's like, they got as good of a voice as you? Or does he have as good a voice as you? I'm like, no, it's even better. It's way better. And I'm like, I go, wait a second. I said, are you messing with me, Charlie? And he's like, no, I like your voice. I was like, okay. I'm like, no, you'll. And dude, they came up to me. I mean, obviously I introduced you to him and they're like, man, he's good. He's good. Dude, awesome. one of the girls came up to me and she's like, I heard that's your brother. And I was like, yeah. And she's like, does he do like MMA boxing announcing? And I'm like,
we're now doing MMA.
I go, no, he does, you know, but he does basketball, football, baseball. And he's getting into volleyball now too.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that's pretty cool. Dude, so many compliments. You made Carrie look good. You made your little brother look good. So
Awesome.
thank you. I appreciate it.
No, of course, man.
And we had a
awesome.
fun night. We went out to Pegasus, had a good dinner, and
Oh, it was great.
And-
Yeah.
Yeah,
And you guys treated me. That night was awesome.
yeah.
The whole night was awesome.
yeah, and you drove home at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling staying in the hotel
No,
room
you-
that night for some reason.
You wanted your own bed. I get it.
I did.
Been there,
I don't
done
blame
that.
you.
The advantages of not partaking in overconsumption of alcohol allows you to drive
Yeah,
home at
there's-
1:30 in the morning.
There's more to the rest of that night, but we'll leave it at
I
that.
know. Right, exactly.
Good times.
All right, guys. Hour and 40 minutes in. Let's just, I want to say thank you to everybody again. A couple quick things here. Give me a second. Next week, and we're going to put together a bowl mania. We'll put together a thing here. We'll get it all out for everybody on social media. Next week, we'll do our full bowl breakdown. Jimmy, you weren't on last week, but your homework, and like if you watch it, your homework of watching I Like Me, the John Candy documentary, it is incredible. By the
Oh,
way.
yeah. I did see that.
Watch it.
Yeah, we watched it. Kathy and I watched it. It's awesome.
Awesome.
It is awesome.
Is it on
We're gonna
Netflix?
it's on Amazon. I think
Okay.
Amazon. We're gonna recap the Lions and Rams. We're gonna talk some Pistons. We're gonna talk some Wings and get back up to speed with them. We're gonna keep pushing us for more jobs, getting us out more and doing more there. But Jimmy, what do you got going on this week? Got nothing?
Just trying to get caught back up, to be honest with you. Work. That's about it. I got nothing. Right? Isn't that my
Michael,
go-to?
how about you?
For the first time in over 5-6 weeks, I actually have a light schedule this week. So, on the road, I guess, a little bit. I don't even know if that's in terms of my own territory. I've been traveling so much, doing stuff for the company, different trade shows from Vegas to Connecticut to Toledo, back, this, that, everything else. So, this will be a little bit more of a normal week. I got a lot of paperwork to catch up on for work too. So it's not that it's not going to be a busy week, but it'll. And dude, what are we 2 weeks away from? Christmas
Shut
is
up.
2 weeks from
Shut up.
Thursday.
Shut up. So
Wow.
I'm hoping to be gainfully employed by the end of next week, and cross your fingers for me next week.
Yes.
So thank you guys, everybody. We appreciate it. Share, look,
Thank
do
you.
whatever you can with us. Let everybody know, and hope you guys have a great week.
Have a good
Have
week,
a
guys.
Spectacular week.
Stay warm.
All right.
See ya.
Do it.